further robs Congress of the power of the purse, creates another precedent that that we really have a dictator as president, doesn't have to worry about Congress. But there are other things here as well. It encourages irresponsibility. We penalize those people who prepay loans as opposed to those who aren't paying their loans off at all. It continues down the path of not addressing the underlying problem in this country, which is the cost of college education is too great at a time where colleges all around the country are hiring diversity coordinators, an obvious place to cut. We're saying, well, it doesn't matter because you're still going to have a high enrollment because we're going to hand out student loans to people, and those people more and more over time are going to begin to expect that those student loans can be forgiven. It further drives the country in debt. There are estimates that suggest that this student loan forgiveness plan will eventually cost over $1 trillion. We're already at $31 trillion of debt. We already have inflation out of control. The whole country, and I think the financial markets, are looking to see whether the United States is ever going to get their financial house in order. This loan forgiveness just screams, no, the United States is still governed by a bunch of people you'd expect to be governing a banana republic in which we think nothing of apparently putting another $1 trillion on the books. So I will emphasize, I think this forgiveness is illegal. It is unconstitutional. It further sends the message to future Americans that the idea of paying off your own loans is foolish because ultimately the government will step in and pay off those loans for you. And therefore, I'm glad we have HJ Res 45 before us today. I'd like to thank the chair for advancing it, and I yield the remainder of my time.
Wow, friends. Many more Democrats are now pushing President Biden to use the 14th Amendment on the United States debt ceiling. The U.S. president may be forced to take action very soon, with experts urging the American people to brace for the effects of a debt default. My friends, this is the latest update, so please stay tuned until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaways, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Senate Democrats are urging President Biden to use the 14th Amendment to raise the debt ceiling, arguing it is in his constitutional authority to take the unilateral step to prevent a GOP-driven default. They say Biden should not agree to GOP demands for major concessions on spending cuts to raise the debt ceiling, and that he should extend the nation's borrowing authority by taking a step no previous president has done. When asked whether Biden has the authority, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin said, "I feel that we should test that, and I think the language is very explicit in that amendment." Senate Democrats say they have consulted with constitutional scholars about the option and that Biden should test it if House Speaker Kevin McCarthy does not waver in his demands. Senate Democrat Elizabeth Warren told reporters, "The 14th Amendment is not anyone's first choice. The first choice is that Republicans raise the debt ceiling because the United States government never defaults on its legal obligations. But if Kevin McCarthy is going to push the United States over a cliff, then it becomes the president's responsibility to find an alternative path." Republicans in the House and Senate have warned against using the 14th Amendment, saying Biden does not have this power and warning of his challenges in the court. The president has raised a possibility, indicating he'd consider the move, but not without a pause. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen last week acknowledged serious problems with the 14th Amendment as an answer to the debt crisis. The 14th Amendment, passed by the Senate in 1866, states, "The validity of the public debt of the United States, authorized by law, shall not be questioned. Dick Durbin acknowledged that using the 14th Amendment would lead to a court challenge and was not an ideal option. But Democrats are also signaling they may rather roll the dice in court than agree to GOP spending cuts or hope a deal can be reached with Kevin McCarthy. President Biden has already offered caution when it comes to the 14th Amendment talk, saying the problem is it would have to be litigated. The growing possibility that the president might attempt a constitutional runaround Congress is sparking alarm among Republicans. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell responded to Biden's threat to use the 14th Amendment by declaring on the Senate floor that unconstitutionally acting without Congress is not an option. So, dear friends, do you think that the president should use the 14th Amendment? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. With the odds of a U.S. debt default increasing, Social Security advocates warn that beneficiaries should be prepared in case their payments are interrupted. Dan Adcock, Director of Government Relations and Policy for the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, said, "There is a good chance that in the event of a default, millions of Americans' benefits would be disrupted. But millions of beneficiaries have no financial room to maneuver." Dan Adcock noted that about 40% of Social Security recipients, which include Americans who are disabled and those who are widowed, receive 90% of their income from the Safety Net program, and that equates to nearly 27 million people. Analysts suggest it is not certain that our government will miss payments to Social Security recipients in the event of a default. The matter would likely depend on how much cash is on hand if or when the debt ceiling is breached. The staggered schedule of Social Security payments, which relies on an individual's birth date to determine which part of the month they receive them, means not all beneficiaries would be equally affected in a missed or partial payment scenario. By law, the Social Security Administration cannot spend more money than it has on hand. So it's up to all lawmakers to come together and finally reach a deal for the American people. Well, my beautiful and most dearest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Monday afternoon. Thank you, dear friends, for being here every day and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways.